Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is the Loshak and the Bag show for Tuesday afternoon, May 22nd, 6 o'clock edition of the show. Of course, last week in general was a successful week. Jimmy the Bag nailed the Preakness once again. I had a successful day in MMA and UFC Fight Night 129 with Andreas Hale, and yesterday, of course, started off a big winning day for myself. A small winning day for Jimmy the Bag, even though he's disappointed in his MLB results from yesterday. I can feel it, but I don't know, man. Jimmy the Bag, every day, no matter what you did yesterday, has nothing to do with you can't get complacent, you can't get lackadaisical. I like this card. I feel like I'm seeing a bunch of modest edges. I'm starting to overthink myself, though. I'm starting to get nervous. I don't want to have a big winning day yesterday and then hemorrhage it all today, but I don't know. I might add on about 5 or 6 or 8 of my leans to official plays, Jim. There's a bunch of plays I think I'm liking here.
I've got plays to add on.
Really?
I've got another NBA play to add on.
Really?
And sitting beside that camel, I know
yes.
I'm going to have a big night.
Yeah, so I am wearing this camel hair jacket in honor of my winning day yesterday. Most like in a handicapping opinion, most of the comments in the morning show were very supportive of the camel hair jacket. One guy said I look like a school teacher, which is not great. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm feeling it. This of course came in the refuse from the old studio that we used to have. Sophia just handed me a big bag filled with clothes, and she said, "Here, we figured we'd give this to you." And I looked at this and I was like, "Well, what do you know? This looks pretty snazzy." Do I look like a professor talking about Dostoevsky? I don't know.
No, you look better than I never had a teacher cool enough to rock camel, man.
Yeah, I mean,
golden camel.
At worst, I look like a cool teacher. The important thing is what shirt goes underneath it, and I knew to put a black shirt underneath it. All right, let's get into a MLB. First, let's just quickly scan the comments, and then we will get into MLB.
I need to give a shout out to Scotty Rock Nation. Here, 30 minutes before the show started, giving out final scores. What a guy! I fucking love him, man.
Wow, Scotty Rock forever. Warriors 129, Rockets 127, predicting a huge over.
129, 117.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes, a big over. I love it. You see that number shot up?
Did it?
It's shot way up.
Wow.
And I'm very thankful to have got it at the number I did this morning.
Mm-hmm. Very, very nice. All right, let's see. Danksy says the San Diego Nats game probably will be delayed, possibly canceled. Yeah, that's an interesting game because Jimmy the Bag, you took the over on that one, and I was starting to lean that way as well. The first 5 innings over was a lean for me, and I was thinking about throwing that one on. Brian George, what's up, Low Bag? What's up, Brian George? We're just getting to initial comments, and then we'll jump right into the big MLB card. Let's see. Kobe Valentine says, looks like God took a piss and aimed right for Beats' jacket. Then he says, just kidding, look and fly. Yeah, I feel like it's a look that I'm going to develop. I'm going to see what I can do with this piece that came as a gift for me in the garbage bag from the old studio.
King Rail says that jacket color is pimping.
Nice.
There
Nice.
you go.
Because King Rail will give me the straight dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
If he thought I looked like a sucker, like a straight up sucker, he would say it. I know that he would. Obviously, with a jacket of this color, you have to be careful what you pair it with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's much better, I feel like, if you pair it with a contrast. I wouldn't want to pair this with like an off-white or a yellow shirt. It would look too weird. But I feel like black shirt underneath with this jacket. Maybe this will turn out to be my lucky jacket. I'm wearing it right now because yesterday I had a big winning day in MLB leans and everything, and let's get into it. I don't want to jinx myself up too much. We got a lot of shit to cover. First, let's quickly review the picks that we gave in the morning. I did give Detroit first 5 innings team total over 2 at plus 100. That's just a no-brainer fade of Lynn, and our no-brainer fades of Vargas did not cash. You know what I'm saying? These no-brainer fades do not always cash.
No, not only that, but I can't believe that I rewatched it.
Mm-hmm.
I said on the show that these guys, the people who work for these franchises, could be considered, they're, I don't want to use the word geniuses, but they're obviously, they have a very high level of IQ in baseball.
Yeah.
They are giving these guys big contracts. I said they've done the work for us.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly, they believed in Vargas. They continue to believe in Vargas. So it was sort of telling that he was going to start pitching better at some point. He had a 17-win season last year. I only did that first 5 innings, fading in first 5 innings, but it was a mistake. I was watching it back. I'm like, why didn't I just go with what I was saying? Disappointing.
You know, it's interesting because a lot of times, I mean, I also faded Bartolo Colon on the first 5 innings. A lot of times, those kinds of pitchers, when they've strung together a bunch of bad starts in a row, you want to be careful about making it too easy. And a lot of times, it's after one of their good starts is when the best time to fade them. After a string of bad starts is not necessarily the best time to fade them, and that is definitely the case with Lance Lynn. I mean, he looks like he's at a low point, so we're fading him at a low point. He's probably not as bad as he's looked recently.
I'm not fading Lance Lynn.
You're not.
I'm not
really?
fading Lance Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
I really, I think it's the exact same thing that happened with Vargas. And who was the pitcher that we were watching before? Who was Yu Darvish? Exact same thing.
Well, that's a little bit. I mean, Yu Darvish has a much higher upside, I think, than Vargas or Lynn.
No question, but the same things were going on. An ERA over 5, a huge contract in his pocket. Now, obviously, there are differences, and Darvish has a higher upside, but I think there's comparisons to all 3 players.
Sure. Very well taken. So I might have made a mistake here, but I did take Detroit. First 5 innings, team total over 2. Also went along with Jimmy the Bag. I took the Angels 2 ways. Run line -1 at +128, and the second half money line -119. This is another play that, I don't know, makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm getting sucked in by the line. Hopefully I won't get burned by it. Also took the Baltimore Orioles first half team total over 2, -120 to fade Shields. Now Shields is kind of on the opposite side of that. Obviously not a great pitcher coming off a good start, so maybe this is a good time to fade him. And I also took the first 5 innings over 4.5 in the Baltimore White Sox game. And I took another no-brainer play, Yankees second half. I'm taking them in a lot of second half situations, even at big favorites. I cashed them the other day, and I'm on the Bartolo Colon day, and I'm taking them here again today. The line I got was -155. I'll get to my leans in a second. Jimmy the Bag also taking Baltimore, fading Shields. He took them on the money line -120, taking Philly on the money line -113. That is very interesting. And Velasquez, Jim said that Velasquez is mixing up his pitches. You know what I've started to do, Jim? I swear to God, I've started to watch the show over again because there's a lot of great comments that I miss.
Same
a lot
here.
of great handicapping comments that I missed. People were talking. I think it was Kobe. It was either Kobe or Tom Marino who said that even when Velasquez improves, he just seems to have mental issues, and that when he gets into a jam, he starts just throwing up those 96-mile-an-hour straight balls that are very hittable. So it's interesting. But Jim's taking Philly. A money line -113. Also on the Angels, money line -104. Also on Pittsburgh, fading Matt Harvey at -122. Now, when I handicapped this game on the overnight line, I actually took Cincinnati. I thought maybe Cincinnati would be a good play as a home dog, but in the show, most people were agreeing with the play on Pittsburgh. A lot of people, Anthony L., a lot of people, I can't remember exactly who offhand, but a lot of people were agreeing with Jim's play on Pittsburgh, and Jim also took San Diego, Washington over 8.5 -105, which I would agree with. That game might be rained out. Let me just quickly go over some of the leans that I'm definitely thinking about.
Sure.
I'm thinking about throwing on the first half over 4.5 in Atlanta, Philly with McCarthy and Velasquez. First half over 4.5 Atlanta, Philly. Definitely thinking about the first half over in San Diego, Washington. That game might not go off. I'm also thinking that I just don't really like Chatwood here for the Cubs, and I don't exactly understand why the total is so low. I'm thinking about Cleveland first 5 innings, team total over 2, and the first 5 innings over 4 at -117. I'm also thinking about a bunch of second half unders. The Mets second half under, second half under 3.5 -130. Arizona, Milwaukee second half under 3.5 -105. Colorado Dodgers second half under 3.5 -135, and the St. Louis game also second half under 3.5 -115. Another play I'm thinking about as a lean is taking once again St. Louis -1 as a big favorite. Obviously, I'd be getting a terrible number. It was -195 when it opened. Now it's all the way up about to -220. So the -1 line would be -167. But Weaver's having a couple of nice starts. Hamill is just looking very, very vulnerable. St. Louis just in general looks like they have a significant edge in terms of the batting order. KC, of course, also has a dog shit bullpen. So many edges here for St. Louis, and I think I might throw that one on there. -1 at -167, and that's about it. And maybe thinking about taking a shot, as we know, with Boyd, who's been pitching well, maybe taking a shot with the Detroit -1, which would be +207. That's all the thing. Oh, and there's one other play that I'm thinking about, which is Houston. Now, I know Houston doesn't hit well at home. Suarez, though, is very hittable. And I was thinking this is a spot where Houston's bats wake up just a little bit. I was thinking about Houston first 5 innings, team total over 2.5 at -125. That's another play I was thinking about. And one other play I was also thinking about, Arizona, Milwaukee on the under. I don't know why that line has gotten bet up. Obviously, Chacin is vulnerable. Obviously, Cook has been has been coming crashing back down to earth. Got shelled by Milwaukee in his last start. Might get shelled here again. But with Milwaukee's bullpen and Arizona's relatively weak bats, maybe Arizona team total under is the best way to go here. But I was just thinking full game under as well. 9 minus 103. Those are the leans I'm thinking about right now, Jim.
Well, you seem on point, and I imagine that's camel power. The Oracle has spoken.
Wow. Here. What? The Native Queen. Oh, there we go. Native Queen. Atlanta score in the first inning. Yes. And over. Hits, errors, runs, first inning, and first 5 innings over as I was leaning. There you go. Native Queen not necessarily expecting good pitching performances from.
And the Oracle has spoken once more.
No way. Let me find that one. No way. I am the official Oracle translator. I am the transcriber of the messages from the Oracle, which are sometimes take a little bit of an experienced translator to translate. Native Queen likes Washington to score first. Okay, wait, which game is that again? Oh, yeah, the San Diego game might get... Wow, Washington score first. They're at home. Interesting. First 5 money line on Washington and plus a half. Okay, now I'm a little bit lost. Washington plus a half on the first 5 innings money line, but they're a big favorite. How could they be plus a half? All right, we're going to move on. Game and money line and run line. Washington, first 5, team total over, and full game, team total over. Okay, so what I can glean from this, definitely Native Queen likes Washington to score first, and definitely in general liking Washington here. Pretty clearly liking, at the very least, Washington team total overs, which I would agree with, except that this game really might get rained out. So, I don't know. Thank you, Native Queen. Thank you for anything. We're supremely thankful for whatever she communicates to us in which way she feels appropriate.
Absolutely.
All
I
right,
have my
Jim.
man Cheesy Balls on location in Washington, D.C., giving us weather reports by the minute. So I'm sure he will be giving us updates, not only on the weather, but also his Cheesy Balls. I have plays to add.
Okay, let's hear it, Jim.
First off, slightly different play than you on the Giants Astros, but I agree Suarez is touchable, and I think Cole is going to come slightly back to earth.
His last start was his worst start of the year. His other starts this year were friggin' in the stratosphere.
Oh, and Native Queen says, my bad, Pete. It was minus 1.5.
Minus a half. See, even once in a while, oracles mess up, and we even forgive oracles. Right?
Of course.
Forgiveness. Thank you so much, Native Queen. Okay, so what do you want here, Jim?
I am on the full game over. Giants have won 5 of 8 following that 6-game losing streak. Suarez looks hittable. 1-3, 4.88 ERA, 1.27 whip. We talked about in the morning show how the Astros bats aren't hitting at home, and we talked about how that happened last year, and maybe there's enough of a sample size to believe in it. And maybe that's the case, but Suarez is hittable. 6 home runs in 27 2/3. He's allowed 9 earned runs over his last 10 innings. Cole, coming off his worst outing of the season, like Pete said, allowed 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks with 7 strikeouts over a season-low 5 innings. 3.18 ERA in career against the Giants. Giants are hitting .261, that's 4th in the league in batting average, still a lower OPS. They don't have a ton of power, but they're a veteran group that hits. Astros .257, 757 OPS versus lefties. I am on the full game over 7.5.
You certainly don't lack for balls, Jimmy the Bag. Damn, this jacket is kind of hot, though. This is kind of a hot jacket. Damn, this is
You gotta
hot.
pay the cost to be the boss, Pete.
I know.
You gotta pay the cost to be the boss.
Not always being comfortable and looking cool are in line with each other. You got some balls, Jimmy the Bag. I'll tell you what. I make a pick on every game. Obviously not a bet, but I make a pick on every game and I grade them, right? And and I track them, of course. This one on the total on this game, it was such I didn't know what to do, and I decided that I did want to make the over my pick on this one, but it was the absolute lowest grade that I can give a pick in my tracking system. So we'll give you that one over 7.5 minus 115 despite Cole starting. And let me see, that line is at the Greek over 7.5 minus 115. You got some balls, Jimmy the Bag, taking over with Cole starting in Houston. But as we know, those are sometimes the plays that can have the most solid value in sports betting. Counterintuitive plays.
Yeah, I believe in this play. My man Mark Made Man said yes, over 7.5 is the play. I played it earlier. Tomore says, I think it's tough to see San Francisco hitting Cole. Cole's last 2 starts against Oakland and LA were 2 teams that were seeing him for the second time in 3 weeks. Suarez has been mediocre, but Houston hasn't seen him. Suarez has been worse than mediocre to me, although his whip is nice. just because of only 5 walks. He's got a lot of control. I think Suarez is very, very touchable, and I think we could be on the very beginning of Cole coming back to earth. My man King Rail saying, Jimmy, first 5 pit or full game. I'm on full game with Pittsburgh. So that is my first play, and I've got a few more that I like.
All right,
and,
well, let me. I'll support you on this one, Jim. This is a bit iffy because, again, as Tormino Tomor says, the Houston hasn't seen Suarez, and crafty lefties can be tough when it's the first time that they've seen them. Also, as we know, Houston is it's a very low-scoring park, and Houston does not hit well at home, as we know. But I will take Houston first 5 innings, team total over 2.5 minus 130. That is the current line at Heritage. Something tells me that they're going to get to Suarez here, and hopefully they will. All right, what else do you like, Jim?
Well, I like Pink Eye Genie's comment. He says, to avoid pink eye, wear camel hair, wash hands after butt stuff.
Who are these people? I love them. I just want to know who they are. And look at that. Herman Aparicio, driver from L.A., truck driver from L.A.
Oh, yeah.
He told us that he's making his... damn, I'm sweating. This is hot as hell. Hey, Larry, you got any towels back there or something? I'm sweating. I'm hot as hell here. All right, thanks very much, Larry. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, Larry's going to get me some towels. I'm sweating like a pig here. All right, Jimmy, what else do you like here, Jim?
I didn't want to double up on this game, and I spent the afternoon going between the Cardinals team total over 4.5, which I was being offered minus 140 in my book, and then over the hour I was humming and hawing, went up to minus 145, or the Cardinals minus 1.5, and I got that at minus 120. I decided after a while that I was going to take the Cardinals minus 1.5 and not double up. Game time temp 83, wind blowing in very softly. Hamill does not look good. 0-5, 6.28 ERA, 1.47 WHIP. Coming off allowing 10 hits and 5 runs, 6 innings.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No,
Thank you very much, Larry. Larry coming through. All right, go ahead, Jim. Sorry about that.
No problem. I respect it, man.
Yeah.
When you wear camel, man, you got to pay the cost,
Ooh.
man. Yeah, you got to pay
It's
the
hot.
cost.
Ooh, it is hot today.
But whatever
All right,
you
Jim.
do not take that jacket
No, I
off.
will not.
Under zero circumstances can you take that jacket off. 4-6 and 13 starts with a 5.51 ERA in his career versus the Cards. Weaver, though, had a very nice start against Philadelphia, whom I believe will hit. And, just judging by numbers, obviously, the Phillies have a much stronger lineup than the Royals. And he came back pitching well. Philadelphia held him to a run and 4 hits through 7 innings. I am on the Cards, minus 1.5 run line.
Native Queen says, just take the jacket off, Pete. God, can you imagine? Native Queen was your mom. How much of a wonderful life that would be. Whatever. A caretaker. Caretaker. She really cares about people.
My best friend and my lover.
All of that. Caretaker. I just need a mom. All right, let's see. What else do we have here, Jim? All right, so what are you going to take? You're going to take St. Louis what?
Minus 1.5.
All right, St. Louis. Jim's going to take St. Louis minus 1.5. Now, weirdly, this line has gone down. The money line was actually minus 220 when I was looking at it earlier. Now it's down a bit to a minus 205. That's kind of curious. I'm not exactly happy to see that. I was thinking about throwing on St. Louis minus 1, and the run line has definitely moved. Wow.
Juicy Toast says, if you take the jacket off, I'll stop watching.
Okay, so. I will not. Juicy Toast. Always giving great comments. Wow. In the meantime, when I was looking at this one, the St. Louis minus 1.5 line, because I put it in my leans column, was minus 113. Now it's plus 101 at Pinnacle.
Wow. That's a big change. Now, I like... Okay, first off, O'Neill has come up from AAA and he's hitting hard, which is allowing some of those hitters that are underachieving, Ozuna and Fowler, to get rest. I believe they're resting Pham tonight. Let me just take a quick look at that lineup because I'm shocked that I could get a plus.
Yeah,
and a little uncomfortable.
It's got to be a lineup announcement because it was only about like 2 hours ago that it was minus 115. And so that's a pretty big move. It's got to be lineup people for St. Louis. You still want that one, Jimmy the Bag, minus 1.5 plus 101.
I do, and they're not giving me a lineup here. Yes, I do. Okay. I do. I'm fine, and I kind of like a plus 101. I think Hamill is going to get touched, and I'm on it.
All right, and I will throw on the second half under, even though I went to that well yesterday and cashed with it, I believe. And, sometimes it's not a good idea to keep going back, but I will go back to that well again. The second half under, this is in my leans column, minus 115. So I'm going to take that one. St. Louis, second half under, 3.5, minus 115. Jim's on St. Louis, minus 1.5 at plus 101. Interesting line movements here, Jim. All right, what else are you thinking about?
Well, the Oracle has spoken once
shit.
again.
Oh, shit. Let's see what she's got for us. Boston to score first 5 and full game. Wow. So I think she's liking Boston to score first 5 innings and full game with Sale.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that as well on the overnight line, Jimmy the Bag. I was going to take Boston. It was at minus 200, and I did make that a pick on the overnight line, and I even bet it. On the overnight line. I took Boston -1 when the line was minus 200. Now it's all the way up to minus 230. The Greek's still at minus 225. I can't take this one. Boston scoring first is very no-brainer-ish. That's got to be a massive line here. Let's see what that would be. I'm just very interested to see what this would be. Let me just quickly check what that line would be. We normally like to take a brisk pace in this show unless Native Queen has come in with a pick that makes us curious to see what the line is. Boston to score first at Pinnacle is minus 213, which is a high line, but not any higher than just taking Boston to win the game.
Yeah, and she's the Oracle.
Yeah. No, obviously, Faria is very vulnerable. Chris Sale is who he is, so I can't really disagree with that. It's interesting that Native Queen likes Boston here, and again, on the overnight line, I was liking Boston as well.
Todd Raymond took them last night at -1
yes,
too.
I did bet them at -1. Now I got them at I forgot what the money line was, like minus 205. So it wasn't that big of a line. It came out to minus 150 or minus 160 or something like that. I guess that would count as a lean. I guess Boston -1, even though now it's just the line is just headed up and up and up. So what are you doing, Jimmy the Bag? Oh, the Native Queen was the one who said that she had to. All right. What else would you like to add, Jimmy?
I am on the Colorado Rockies this evening, and Chad Bettis. Bettis 401, 3.27 ERA, 1.20 WHIP. All 4 of Bettis' victories have come on the road this year. 1.83 ERA away from Denver, 4th lowest road ERA in the NL. Stewart making his first start of the year. 3 relief appearances. He's throwing 5 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks. In 5 starts in AAA Oklahoma City, 1-0 with a 2.08 ERA, 1.11 WHIP. And that's very good. We know in the Pacific Coast League to have a ERA and WHIP that low. But in saying all that, I would take Bettis over Brock Stewart, and I'm doing that and getting a big plus line. Well, not a huge plus line, but a big enough plus line.
All right, in my sheet where I track all my picks, I did pick Colorado at just a plus one. It just made it like a 2-unit play, which would not count as a bet. I'm not going to bet this one, although I might be leaning to the under. Let me find you the best line here right now. It'd be plus 133. We're going to give Jim Colorado money line plus 133. And yeah, yesterday, of course, I liked Colorado +1 and the Colorado on the second half as leans, and those both did cash. Today, I'm definitely thinking that the second half under also might be a play. Let me look at what the line is for that one.
While you're looking, Todd Raymond on the Rockies too. Kobe Valentine, love Colorado away.
Loves Colorado in this spot.
Loves Colorado away.
All right, let me just, I might wind up throwing on a lot of my leans. I might wind up with 15 or 20 picks today. That's okay. I am going to take the second half under. I will take the LA Dodgers second half under. 3.5 minus 135. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I will take that one. That's a little bit risky, but I will take it. And Jim has added Colorado, and I may yet wind up throwing on Colorado on the second half, Colorado on the +1 line, which was what I was thinking about. All right, what else do you want to discuss?
Anthony L says Bettis on my fade list for starters. Got Dodgers team total over 4. I was talking about fading him a couple weeks ago, but he continues to pitch well. He continues to be the leader among these very young starters, and he seems to love that spot for himself. But Molly Mall says Rocky strong on the road. I hear you, Anthony L, and I would much rather be on the same side as Anthony L as much as possible. I am on the over. Now, I know you're first hearing this, you're going to think, man, these lineups are weak. D. Gordon's on the DL as well. Nelson Cruz may be back. Chris Davis strained his groin, is going to probably not be on the DL, but definitely miss tonight. But I'm still on the over in Mariners Athletics. We've already had somebody mention that Mike Leake on 6 days rest has a nice ERA. The wind's blowing out strongly over right center. Mariners have won 3 straight. Yes, they put D. Gordon on the DL. Nelson Cruz is expected to be back in the lineup tonight. Chris Davis will not be in the lineup tonight. A's are coming off a very impressive 7-3 road trip through New York, Boston, Toronto. Leake, even though he's good on 6 days rest, does have a 6.00 ERA, 1.53 whip, has allowed 8 home runs in 51 innings. He faced the A's earlier this year, and he pitched okay, allowed 3 runs on 7 hits through 6. He's never won at Oakland in his career, but his ERA is fine there. I just don't see Cahill as being a 2.79 ERA, 1.00 whip guy. He's gone 5-4 with 3.48 ERA and 13 career starts against the Mariners. I still think that these offenses can get the job done, and this total is not too high.
Well, it is headed down. It is interestingly headed down. It's
but
down.
That's because of the D. Gordon announcement.
Right. Okay, well, you can get 8.5 minus 101, or if you would prefer, we can give you 8 minus 115 at Heritage.
Ooh, I will take over 8
Yeah,
minus
all right.
115.
So Jim's going to take the Oakland game over 8 minus 115 at Heritage, and interestingly, Heritage has also taken a lead on a move to the under in Atlanta, Philly, McCarthy and Velasquez. That line is headed down, and now Heritage. I thought that game might be a good candidate for an over. It opened at 8.5. It's moving down, 8.5 juice to the under, and now Heritage has moved to 8 minus 115 to the over on that one. What's up with that?
It's very interesting.
And didn't Native Queen say she liked the over on that one as well?
In which one?
On the Atlanta Philly game.
Yes, she's got Atlanta score in first, yes.
Oh.
Over hits, errors, and runs first inning, and first 5 over.
Okay. In the Atlanta Philly game.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking as well. And yet that line is headed down, and I was thinking if it actually drops to 4 on the first 5 innings, I will take it. Which and weirdly the first 5 innings line is getting bet. The total is getting bet up, while the full game total is getting bet down. Interesting stuff. All right, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm just watching the line moves. Another game I was thinking about as far as taking a shot with the over, which is moving the way I was thinking, is Cubs Cleveland. I know Bauer is great. Has some great numbers. He's running up some high pitch counts. Chatwood can be good. Oftentimes does have decent starts despite having 6 or 8 walks or whatever. But in general, Chatwood feels very, very risky to me, and I'm thinking this is a good candidate for an over. Cleveland first half team total over, and the full game and the first 5 innings over 4, maybe minus 125. What do you think about that game?
I was thinking about Bill Buttlicker, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Can you please?
Okay. That's all right. What's going on?
Just. Bill Buttlicker up to Bill Buttlicker type stuff.
I understand. Can be very distracting. Yes, it can be. It can be very distracting.
Sorry, what was the over you were speaking of? Oh, the Cubs over. Okay, I'm back. Bill Butler talking about dipping nuggets, and it just gets my attention. It captures my imagination. Well, you talked me off. A possible. No, I didn't make the bet before I came in. It was a possible. I had 2 question marks beside it. You talked me off the under in this game, and I can't jump all the way to the over. I still like Chatwood.
I'm sorry, there are funny comments coming in. Michael W. says, no offense, but who cares about your jacket if you're wearing a baseball hat? Ouch.
Wow.
Touche. Yes, this is a grotesque fashion faux pas. And he's like, if I'm wearing a jacket with a baseball hat, it doesn't matter what the jacket is. I'm already a big loser when it comes to my my style for the day. All right, let's try to focus on handicapping.
My stomach.
Michael W., thanks for the comment. Very funny comment. All right, let's try to focus
King
here.
Rail says, yes, Pete, over Cubs. I was leaning that way.
Really? Okay. God, why is the total so low? Well, I know why the total's so low because Bauer's been
lights out.
Yeah. Mark Darwin says lean Cubs and over for me. Randy Lockhart says Cleveland, do it.
Yes, and Conrado Mendoza is worried about Bill Buttlicker getting pink eye, as he should.
All right, let me put some picks in here. Sure. I will take Cubs Cleveland first 5 innings over. That is going to be 4 minus 125. That is the current line at Heritage. First 5 innings over. 4 minus 125, and I will double up. I will also take the Cleveland Indians first 5 innings team total over, which should be just 2 minus 110. And maybe I should triple up and take Cleveland. It's 2 minus 101. All right, yeah, I'm definitely taking that one at Pinnacle. Cleveland first 5 innings team total over 2 minus 101. I'm going to double up, and I could also see making a case for taking the Cleveland team total over on the full game at just 4 minus 107. But I guess I'll chill out because Chatwood is weird. Sometimes he does have good starts. You know what I mean? Sometimes he doesn't walk guys. Sometimes he walks a lot of guys, but still manages to get out of it. So I'll just take it
I
two ways
believe
for
in
now.
Chatwood long term, and I believe in the Cubs long term. Mr. Gokser, lean over and Indians first 5. Garza is on the tribe. King Rail, Chatwood has huge control issues. I just took Indians and over 7.5. Matt
Yeah.
Darwin, Edwin not in the lineup, would bring it down a touch. Barca Man, G11, under is 4-0 in Bauer's last 4 starts versus
who's
the Cubs.
not lineup? Who's not lineup?
Edwin Encarnacion.
Oh, okay. All right, okay.
Larry Savage, Cubs, Indians, should be a good game. Okay.
All right.
Sorry. Nathan Stiff Parlays, Cubs, Indians is going to be a must-watch today.
Joseph Aquino says, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Joseph Aquino, and media executives all over the world. Take note, you fuckers. Joseph Aquino, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Let's move on, Jim.
Let's move on. Now, did I add 4 plays to the card? Or
Yes,
just-
you've added, Jimmy the Bag has added San Francisco, Houston over 7.5 minus 115. That counts as having some balls. St. Louis minus 1.5 plus 101 going on it despite a big line move back in KC's direction. Colorado money line plus 133, which is endorsed by a bunch of people in the comment section and mildly endorsed by myself. Jim taking the Oakland game over 8 minus 115. I took a ballsy play. Houston less ballsy than Jim, but still a little bit ballsy. Houston first 5 innings, team total over 2.5. I've added St. Louis second half under 3.5. Dodgers second half under 3.5 minus 135. Cubs, I'm doubling up on that one. First 5 innings, team total over 2 minus 101 for Cleveland, and first 5 innings over 4 minus 125. And I'm only about halfway done, Jim. Other leans that I was having, I've already taken Baltimore White Sox 2 ways on the over, and I was thinking about taking the full game over at 8.5. Definitely thinking about taking Arizona second half under 3.5 minus 105. Still thinking about throwing on St. Louis minus 1 and joining you, Jim. Thinking about taking Colorado on the second half money line at minus 119. Thinking about the Miami Mets under second half, 3.5 minus 103. And I guess that's really about it. That's about it. As far as the leans that I'm seriously thinking about. Once again, I did bet Boston minus 1 at a better line, but the line movement combined with, Faria has been much better it's a small sample size, but he has been better at home, including a start against Boston. And Sale, as we know, is awesome, but just gets so inflated, you know what I mean, with his lines. That I'm not even going to put it in my leans category here. Boston minus 1. Oh, and sorry, I have so many leans they don't even fit on one screen. And also Atlanta, Philly, first 5 innings over and the full game over, despite the fact that line has gotten bet down.
I could understand liking the over there. I do have a couple things to read out, which will help you kind of give you some time here for a second. First off, JK says, much like the hardy desert animal, the camel, Pete will sustain the heat and find success.
Yeah. Oh my God, who wrote that?
That was
JK.
our friend JK.
Oh, thank you so much, JK.
And then our friend Nathan Stiff Parles says, Loshak in the bag, thanks for running a great show.
Oh.
And then Michael Irvalina says, Pete, I listened to the episode late yesterday. You said you didn't have any family. And in capitals, we are all your family and we love you. Never forget that, Pete.
Oh, Michael Irvalina. So much. Thank you very much. So much. Thank you very much. That is actually true. Yes, I didn't have much family growing up. Have none now. Aunts, uncles, nieces, all that shit. None of it. None of that shit. None of it.
You have us.
Yes, I hope I do. Thank you very much.
You have us and you have that camel jacket.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's see. Cornelius Kidwell says, I like Detroit. Lynn is a flawed talent. Let's see other comments here. Hide and Zeke says Pete's brain is about to explode. Hide and Zeke, good eye. Thank you very much, Hide and Zeke. That is true. Let's see other comments here coming in. Bobby Cox says you never shout me out. We're shouting you out right now, Bobby Cox. The reason we don't shout, the reason a lot of these comments slip by us is because we're trying to cover all the games. We're trying to keep a brisk pace. And as I said, I thought that I at least see all the comments, but I was watching the show from this morning and there were like great handicapping comments that I didn't even see because we're moving so fast. All the comments come in. We're trying to juggle all the balls at once. Huge shout out to Bobby Cox. Consider yourself outshouted. Thank you so much, Bobby Cox. All right. What else do we have here? Let's see. Other comments coming in.
Just getting a lot of love. My man Twatty Latte says, I love Pete.
Oh, thank you so much.
Pink Eye Genie says, please raise pink eye awareness.
Yes, we will do that. All right. In the meantime, I am trying to figure out what I want to do about all these leans. Once again, the leans that I haven't converted. Atlanta, Philly, first 5 innings over 4.5, and now that Heritage has dropped it to 8, I guess I'm thinking about full game over as well. Also thinking about Miami Mets second half under. Arizona, Milwaukee, second half under. That's got to be a no-brainer under right there. I'm almost definitely going to throw that one on there. Also thinking about St. Louis. I'm just concerned about the big line and the line moving the other way. Did you find out why that happened? There must be someone out.
There was a question. No, I couldn't get a lineup when I just checked, but people are asking about it.
I mean, that's got to be the only reason, unless some big syndicate, is thinking that KC just hit a point where they have value, which is possible. All right. First of all, I'm definitely going to throw on the second half under in the Arizona Milwaukee game. Feels a little bit trappy because it's so obvious, but Milwaukee has such a good bullpen. Arizona's so iffy offensively, and I will throw that one in there. Arizona Milwaukee second half under 3.5 at just -105. Definitely also thinking about the Mets game on the second half under. That's 3.5 -130. Any other plays you want to add, Jim?
I've got I believe 8. Or no, is it 9? I believe I have 9 MLB plays, and I like my card. I like my card a lot. And but if there were going to be plays to add, I do think that the Diamondbacks maybe team total. Maybe we need to spend a tiny bit more time on that Diamondbacks game. But I just don't. I don't love Chacin. I find him as a veteran pitcher who can pitch well in difficult situations, and this isn't one of them. I prefer taking Chacin as a dog rather than a favorite. So that's what's kept me off that. And then my man Stephen Alla says this show always brightens my day. Oh. Stephen Alla is about to go on training. He's about to leave us for a bit. I'm not sure if he's a Marine or if he's with the Army, but we care very much about him. So Stephen,
absolutely.
We'd like updates just to know how you're doing, and we are always with you, and we care so much about you, Stephen.
And look, Flipper13 says, Pete, you were invited over Thanksgiving next year as long as you bring the camel coat. I might take you up on that. When I was a kid, I would go to Thanksgiving at like other people's houses. It was always very weird. The different Thanksgiving, you see different families. Very, very strange thing to do. But I would love to go to Thanksgiving at Flipper13's house.
Sure.
He thinks I'm kidding. I'm not kidding.
No, and Flipper 13's coming to Vegas, so
maybe we'll meet him. Yeah. Flipper 13, if you're inviting me over Thanksgiving next year, look into my eyes. I'm not kidding, Flipper 13. I will show up at your house for Thanksgiving in a camel hair coat. All right, let's get back to handicapping.
Let's get back, but Alla is with the U.S. Marines. And, we love him so much.
Huge shout out to Stephen Alla. Happy birthday, everything. All right, yes.
I don't like. I would prefer taking Chacin in a difficult spot where we can use his veteran. The fact that he's done it all. We know that this is a team in the Diamondbacks that is having a real difficult time with velocity. Yeah. He doesn't have a ton of velocity. He throws a slider all the time. I don't see it as a huge spot.
This is weird. This line also, I don't know if you caught this, Jim, but also similar to the KC game, took a pretty significant move back in favor of Arizona. Did you catch that?
I didn't catch that.
In the morning show, okay, so Milwaukee opened around in the -130s. In the morning show, they were in the -150s. Now they're back to the -130s. So about a 15-cent move in favor of Arizona in the last few hours.
I understand that. I think everybody thinking, I started my day with Lathrop using the term cock soup, but for Matt Cock.
Right.
Or Coke.
It's actually, unfortunately, he pronounced it as cook, so cook soup is not funny. It makes sense, actually.
I will use cock, but Max took offense. Max said that Cock does not deserve to take over the name of Cock Soup. And I agree. This is a guy who held opponents to 3 runs or fewer in each of his 5 starts this season. I don't think that it's just because people have tape on him. I just think he had one bad start. I really don't. Everybody's jumping up. Now, yes, he allowed 4 home runs against these very Brewers. I expect him to pitch better. I mean, it's easy to say he's going to pitch better than he did last out, but I can understand that. I don't think that the Brewers are low-hanging fruit, and I don't think the Diamondbacks team total under is low-hanging fruit either.
I'm only going one way, and in the meantime, the total just continues to go up and up and up. It opened at 8.5. It's all the way up now. It's even a little bit higher. There's no 9.5s, but it's juiced to the over. So this total is just climbing and climbing. Very interesting. And I'm just going to go one way. Milwaukee, Arizona, second half under 3.5 minus 105. If that one loses, I'll just tip my cap to them. Oh, by the way, we do have to tip our cap once again to Vargas. Vargas, good start.
Good start.
Good start. We're tipping cap to him.
My man Mac Darwin saying you pass on the Jays game. Absolutely not. I'm
Yep.
going to fade them and fade them. I mean, I'm not going to just blindly fade them.
Right.
But any chance I get, I just feel like do you remember when what's the hell was his name? Hildebrand came into our dressing room about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and he wrote on the chalkboard, "This is a sinking ship." That's what he wrote. And what's his name? Our catcher, as Greg's on, had a coffee first and then tried to fight him. And he said his biggest mistake was having a coffee first. But yeah, he wrote, "This is a sinking ship." I feel like this Blue Jays team is a sinking ship, and that they should trade the vets. Bring up Vladimir Guerrero, let the kids get experience, and let's move towards the future.
Yeah. All right, keeping it real. So no, Jimmy the Bag took the Angels at minus 104 on the money line, and I took the Angels two ways, -1 and the second half. Also, Jimmy the Bag, something must be up with the Miami Mets game. Someone must be out for the Mets because that line has crashed. The Mets were about a -130 favorite in the morning. Now they're down to -110. I was thinking about the second half under on this one, and of course the total has crashed as well from 8 to 7. So I'm assuming some big names are out for the Mets.
I can
tonight.
tell you right now.
Yes, you can tell me right now, and maybe I will. And you know what? All right, I will throw on the Mets Miami second half under as well. Miami Mets second half under 3.5 -130. I'm taking a lot of these second half unders at big favorite lines.
Jesus.
Hopefully, I won't get too burned on that. Hopefully, I'll come out a unit up at least doing that.
This is one of the ugliest lineups that's being presented by a baseball team this year. You got Jose Reyes batting 132 in the 6th spot.
Ugh.
You got Thomas Nido, the catcher, batting 154.
Oh God!
I mean, it's just awful. I mean, Cabrera is just playing over his head, and he's by far the best bat in this line. But Conforto should be. I mean, Conforto's batting 235 with 4 homers. This is an ugly, ugly lineup.
I have thrown on the second half under 3.5 -130 in Mets Miami. And in the meantime, also, the Cincinnati line has crashed, Jim. Did you see that? Pittsburgh, you got it at -122. Best line now will be -113. So about a 10-cent move on the Pittsburgh game since the morning show. And like I said, I actually bet Cincinnati in the +120s on the overnight line. I was a little bit surprised to hear so many people liking Pittsburgh here. And I was going to throw on maybe Cincinnati -1 as a big underdog. What's up with that? Is someone out for Pittsburgh?
I'm looking at this line. It looks fine to me. They got Jay Hay at 1, Polanco, Cervelli at the 3 spot, Josh Bell, Corey Dickerson, Austin Meadows batting 7th. This guy's just an absolute stud. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know how long that's going to last for, but I'm looking at this. This is, to me, very simple. I'm fading Matt Harvey. I'm higher on the Reds than other people. But I'm fading Matt Harvey, and I'm going to do it blindly, possibly, moving forward. I don't think there's any difference whether he's going to be in New York or Cincinnati.
Anthony Yell, a guy who looks into predictive stuff in MLB, and I'm not reading a comment from him, I'm just remembering the comments. Anthony Yell, of course, predicted that Toronto would have positive regression going forward offensively, and also saying that there's a recency bias for people like in Cincinnati, that they're not as good as they have been recently. Although I was on Cincinnati a bunch of times recently, main reason being this guy said that he thought he was going to be ahead of the curve with Cincinnati, and he wasn't, but only because he didn't pull the trigger. I was, because I listened to him and did pull the trigger.
You trotted out those giant balls. You got them. You got them a -1s. You got a +300.
I was thinking about the same thing here. I was thinking about Cincinnati -1 at a big underdog line here, but you guys aren't liking it, huh?
I just think Harvey is easy. I think that I truly believe I'm going to come back here tomorrow and should have taken Pittsburgh on the run line, or should take Pittsburgh on the first 5. You know, speaking of that, then Sean Robertson says that right there. Why not take first 5? You know what? I believe in it. So when does this game start?
7 o'clock Eastern time.
Oh, shit, that's in, 16 minutes? I'm going to add Pittsburgh first 5 just to show how much I don't care about the line movement and how much I want to fade Harvey. So give it to me.
Okay, so what do you want here? Wait, sorry.
Pittsburgh first 5.
Pittsburgh first 5. It's just I'm trying to read all these comments,
no
so many comments, and I know I'm going to rewatch the show later and see all these great comments after the fact. All right,
Well,
hold on.
Kobe Valentine does have an interesting note that I didn't know about.
Okay.
Says a couple things here. Okay, sorry. Kobe Valentine says Jamison Tyone, first time facing Reds since he hit Eugenio Suarez. I forgot that he was the guy who hit him with a pitch in Pittsburgh. Many thought it was intentional for Suarez homer celebration earlier in the season. Reds for revenge.
All right, Jim. You want the first 5 innings? It's minus
do.
127 at Pinnacle.
I do want it, and I'm going to take it.
Okay.
And I'm going to need about 90 seconds to send that bet in.
Okay, you know what I might do, Jim? I don't like to go against you usually, but I think I'm going to go with my initial feeling on this one. I think I'm going to take a shot with Cincinnati -1. I definitely think there's high volatility here. Either Harvey has another decent start or he gets absolutely shellacked. I think I'm going to take a shot with Cincinnati -1. I think I feel like I have a pretty good feel for MLB right now in general, so I'm going to try to push a little bit with my leans, and Cincinnati -1. The alternative run line is +225, so I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take Cincinnati -1. The line has moved in their favor. I don't like Harvey either. I'm agreeing with you, Jim. I just kind of don't think they should be a home dog here. I'm going to take Cincinnati -1. Best money line, BetMania +109, and the alternative run line is going to be at Bet365. Which is plus 215. So I'm going to take a shot with Cincinnati. Oh, sorry, +225 at Bet365. So I'm going to take a shot with Cincinnati -1, +109 on the money line BetMania, and +225 on the alternative run line at Bet365. And again, on the overnight line, I did bet Cincinnati. I got him in the +120, so I guess that's a good sign. Obviously, this is a very interesting game, a tricky game to figure out. Anything could happen with either of these lineups or starting pitchers. We'll see how it all shakes out. Anything else? I'm sure there's a ton of great comments coming in that we don't have time to get to. Let's see. Nate Holguin says, "Good bet, Pete." Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a big dog line here. You know, if it cashes, I'll get almost 2 units. If it loses, I'll lose 1, and I'll be fine. Okay.
All right, I'm in.
All right, let's see. Mr. Gokser says Reds team total over Pistol. I don't know about that. I'm just going to take the Reds -1 and see how it turns out. Nathan Stiff Parlay says I've bet all I'm going to bet in MLB. I'm ready to hear discussions for tonight's NBA action. Okay, and actually, let's see, because the WNBA games, the problem is they're both 7:00 Eastern time games. So. Oh, man. Kevy K says Reds bullpen talk shit, but they back it up recently. Garrett started a bench clearing potential brawl with the Cubbies. That's true. I just want to, we really want to get to NBA. Don't worry, we will get to it. I just want to scan because I'm sure there's some great comments coming in here. Let's see. Anthony L says, Pete, I'm also high on Cardinals having positive offensive regression. Yes, and that is an opinion that has been backed up by other people as well. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Jim?
Sorry, I was reading a comment.
Yeah, Anthony L says, Pete, I'm also on Cardinals having positive offensive regression, and I was saying that
definitely
right, different from Toronto. That is an opinion that other people have also given.
There's no doubt about it. Carpenter's already starting to hit from the second hole. We expect Fowler to do the same. Bringing up O'Neill, he's just smashing, which is going to give some of the guys who are not producing a chance to take a breather and maybe step it up, like Ozuna. And Pham has been great this year. I think this Cardinals team is a good.
Okay, look at this. Pete King Rail says, Pete Flipper is my boy. We'll give you a Thanksgiving to remember. I can cook. I used to own 2 food trucks in Oregon. Unreal. What a friggin' skill that is. I like cooking. 1 Laos food and 1 soul food. Unreal. We can talk about that later. We're way too close to 7:00 here. Gotta move on. Arthur Mead Jr. says, good evening, Jimmy and Peter. Do you have an opinion on Cleveland and Chicago? Yes, I took Cleveland first 5 innings, team total over 2. I took the first 5 innings over as well, just predicated on an expected subpar start from Chatwood. If Chatwood has a good start, I'll eat it, and I'll have to eat 2 units of loss. Let's see. Kendall Ashby says Harvey's first big test is tonight. Yes, that's true. Not a great spot for Harvey. I agree, but I'm taking him. Let's see. Rostradamus says pit line move is a head scratcher for me. Any comments? Just shout them out, Jim. That you're seeing that.
Parlay Poppy says, Pete and Jimmy, if you don't acknowledge me, I will quit this show.
Parlay Poppy, we acknowledge you.
We
all
need
the time.
you, Parlay Poppy.
Yes. Parlay Poppy. In fact, I'm seeing right here. I love Clint Capella points and rebounds over 20 -105. No Iguodala. We will get back to that when we cover the NBA game in the NBA segment. Huge shout out to Parlay Poppy. We love you, Parlay Poppy. Of course. Let's see. What else do we have? I'm just scanning for last minute comments. Okay, Observer says Cespedes is not in the lineup for the Mets.
Yeah, he's on the DL.
Yes. Randy Lockhart likes WNBA Las Vegas, Washington over 154.5 in the morning. That's what I was saying. I think I like the over in that one as well. I agree with you, Randy Lockhart. Not sure if I have the balls to give one as an official pick. Let's see. Chris Meister Rodriguez says Hoberg is a number 3 over-ump in baseball this season at 7-1. He also owns the second lowest strike percentage in the majors. The total for tonight's game at Globe Life Park is set at 9.5. Interesting. He's talking about the Yankees game. Yeah, that game actually. I'm just on the Yankees second half. That's just a safe no-brainer play there. Not exactly sure what we're going to get from either Herman or Hamels. We do know, obviously, that the Yanks have a major edge in the bullpen and in the lineup, obviously. So I'm just playing it safe and taking the Yankees on the second half at the big favorite line of minus 155. Let's see some other comments. So many comments coming in. King Rail liking the Rockets first quarter plus 3.5, plus 8.5 full game. Sparks first half -4 and Aces plus 10.5 first half. Yes, other people in the morning show were also saying who was it? It was what the fuck is that guy's name? The guy who's so good at WNBA. The fuck is that guy? The fucking guy.
Oh Jesus! I need to get in. The 8.5s are leaving.
Oh shit!
I need to get into this. I need to lock my Rockets play down. Sorry.
Okay, no, the fucking guy. The fucking guy. Who's the guy? I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. The guy who gives WNBA plays. He's in here all the time.
Rich Banks?
Rich Banks. There you go. Rich Banks was saying that the LA Sparks is a great play at -8. I was agreeing with that. Indiana is terrible. It's just that LA is off of that big win over Minnesota. Then someone else, I forgot who it was, says there aren't really letdown spots in the WNBA, which I'm not sure if I would agree with that, although I have no stats to back it up. The WNBA games do go off at 7 o'clock, so let's quickly look at that before we get to the NBA. Sorry, guys, we're going really fast here, but we're trying to cover everything, get to all the comments, which, of course, you can read in the WNBA. I was thinking about an over with the Aces and the Mystics. It was 154 at Bookmaker. Now it's up to 154.5. It does seem to have settled. In the morning show, it was all over the place. The Greek had 156.5. Bookmaker had 154. I'm leaning over. The Sparks Indiana total continues to go down, and the spread for the Sparks is still about 8 or 8.5. Bookmaker's still hanging 8. And unbelievably, the Mystics opened at 17. Now they're up to 18 or 8.5 over the Las Vegas Aces, who are rebuilding. They have some nice young talent, but they got absolutely blown out in their first game, and I'm expecting roughly a repeat of that one. I have to make a quick decision here whether I want to take this one. I do like the over at 154, which is where it was at Bookmaker. Jimmy the Bag, anything coming in as far as comments are concerned?
Yeah, well, one with the NBA, Pink Eye Genie is dropping the Pink Eye play of the day with the Rockets money line, and he's not the only one who's mentioned that, so I'm very excited to get into that, and I just want to make sure I get into that before I lose that 8.5. In saying all that, Kobe Valentine says Candace Parker out with an apparent back injury for the Sparks tonight.
Okay.
And Teddy B was pushing me to take the Sparks in the full game. How much do you think Candace Parker missing is going to affect that?
I mean, it's important, but they've got a great team. They've got a deep team. They and Minnesota are the two best teams in the NBA. It's a loss. But, there's a reason why the line has not moved yet on that information, and it tips off in about 7 minutes. Yeah, King Rail liking the Sparks. Teddy B was saying that he was liking the Sparks in the morning show and in the evening show. Let me see other comments coming in. All right. Let me see. Yeah, Teddy B likes Sparks first half. Let me see. Rich Banks was also liking the Sparks in the morning.
King Rail also didn't know. Both King Rail and Teddy B did not know that that Candace Parker will not be in the lineup.
I mean, the thing is, though, that Indiana is legit really bad. And the line, knowing that Candace Parker is out, has still moved up a half point. It opened at 8. Now it's up to 8.5. I mean, Indiana is a bad WNBA team, one of the worst, probably not going to make the playoffs. So, and that's why the total. All right. I'll tell you what I will do. Las Vegas Aces and the Washington Mystics. Las Vegas Aces and the Washington Mystics here. Thinking about first quarter over at 39, although that's gotten bet down. Thinking about the full game over at 154.5. And I'm going to hold off on it for now. I'm just going to be a little bit cautious. we don't have any time for us to sit here, watch me spazzing out, even though we just, neurosing about what I want to do here. I'm going to pass on the WNBA officially for tonight, but some people were suggesting that the Sparks on the team total over might be worth a shot. King Rail likes Las Vegas first half plus 10.5. Randy Lockhart likes the over at 154.5. And if you gave me a free play on either of these games, as I said in the morning, I would throw it on the over at 154 or 154.5 in the Las Vegas Aces Washington Mystics game. All right, that's it for WNBA. Let's take a quick once over on the 7 o'clock MLB games.
Yes, and a couple of quick notes. One, Native Queen has graced us with more plays. Los Angeles Angels first half, Washington Nationals first half. And Native Queen, I think if you're going to take Angels first half, you should take them full game too, because with Osuna gone, that Blue Jays bullpen is
I have the Angels -1, and I have them on the second half just in case Hap comes in and has a good start, which is entirely possible.
You're right. It's entirely possible for sure.
Possible.
But that great start he had was against the Mets, who have an uglier lineup to me than the D-backs.
I'm not particularly high on Hap in general. I'm just saying it's possible.
Definitely, no question.
Especially coming cross country and this and that, and you know what I mean.
No question. Kevin K says, Pete, read this comment.
Okay, here we go. Kevy K. Let's see. Let's check it out.
It's just above Larry saying the Oracle is great.
Does anyone agree with this take? I think the Royals are going to go on a real run soon. Top 10 bats, least Ks. Once pitchers can give them a good 5 innings, they rack wins. Interesting opinion.
It's extremely interesting.
I have two takes. First of all, their bullpen is still going to be a problem unless they... bullpens are notoriously unpredictable month to month, more than any other aspect of baseball. But I'll tell you this, Kevy K, they definitely have the profile of a team that at some point soon might be undervalued. And we do see that around the All-Star break. Right around the All-Star break, a lot of times, these juggernaut awesome teams suddenly go on like losing runs. That happened to the Cubs the year that they won the World Series, and they were so great. They had a bad run right before the All-Star break. A lot of great teams, and a lot of times the teams that come in to replace them in terms of value are teams like KC. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. As of right now, I have KC rated as pure dog shit in my brain. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because their bullpen is just bad.
I'm going to lose this. Pinnacle no longer has the 8.5. I need to lock in this 8.5.
Go ahead. On what?
On the Rockets.
Okay, go ahead.
Now we only have Bookmaker left.
That's fine.
Yes, but it's a -115.
Okay.
And is there any goddamn?
Yeah, plus 8.5 minus 115. Jimmy the Bag.
Yes, please lock me into that.
You want Houston, huh?
I definitely do. Now, we talked a little bit about SBR Zach Jones sweeping the game threes. He really likes Houston tonight.
Really?
Yeah. And he told me to sprinkle some money on the money line.
Really?
I'm not going to do that. In
the morning show, someone did say that they liked Houston plus the points first quarter, first half, and money line. Who was it?
We know that King Rail's on them.
Really?
At least I don't know if he's on my.
Yeah, that's right. Plus 8.5. And first quarter plus 3.5. That's right.
Oh shit! Oh, my fault. Thank you, Native Queen. My fault. Sorry, those first halves that Native Queen dropped were WNBA.
Okay, the Oracle, as always, speaks in riddles.
Sorry, Native Queen, my fault.
Speaks in tongues.
I should have let you. You should always just deliver Native Queen's goods.
Yes.
The whole season is on the line here.
Mm-hmm.
If Iguodala plays, he's obviously healthy because this is their chance to sit him because they're up 2-1. This is the whole season. They know that. Now, this is all about, to me, if Iguodala plays, I'm not going to be nearly as confident on this. I want to see if I can just get a last second, if anyone can give me last second information. But he defends the best player on the floor. This is by far their best opportunity to win a game. If these guys like Steph, Clay, and Kevin have to focus on defense a little more than normal and take a little bit of energy away from their offense, it's going to hurt them. Now, people are telling me, listen, this is the best team of all time. And my reply to that is this is the best team of all time with Iguodala. And I'm not saying they can't beat every team without Iguodala, but they are going to be susceptible at times. Now, the only thing the Rockets had to do was win one game in Golden State. And who cares that they got blown out by 40 points? It doesn't matter. A win is a win. And, in fact, when you get blown out by 41 points, and now probably not with a veteran team like the Warriors, but it might make them a little complacent.
Yeah.
And
I mean, listen, a lot of great comments coming in. Some people are suggesting that now the total is up to 227, that they're liking the under. Tomarino Tomor says, I'm on Houston, but I think if Iguodala is out, Golden State might step up knowing they're down a player. Yes, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking as well.
How step up? He's their best defensive player. So, I mean, I don't see a step up. I mean, yes, they're going to have to step up defensively and expend energy that you wouldn't want Kevin and Clay and Steph to be expending.
Flipper 13 on Houston, 8.5. A lot of people liking Houston. Zach Jones, Flipper 13, King Rail, and now Jimmy the Bag.
Yes.
A lot of people liking Houston.
I absolutely love that I got the over at 223.5 with this giant line movement. I absolutely love it. We know that doesn't equate to victories, but it makes me feel good.
And here we go. Parlay Poppy, NBA Play of the Day. Now, as we know, as we talk about all the times, a lot of times in these, the sides and totals are very interesting, but the real value can be found with player prop. So
No question.
What do you think about this? Jimmy the Bag. From Parlay Poppy, NBA Play of the Day. Clint Capella, points plus rebounds over 20 at -105. He says no, Iguodala means more points and rebounds for bigs. Capella has 20 plus points, rebounds, last 11 playoff games. Prime opportunity for Capella to crush. All in caps from Parlay Poppy. NBA Play of the Day. Clint Capella, points plus rebounds over 20. What do you think?
I think it's a sharp play.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if I'm going to jump on it immediately, but I think Parlay Poppy's very sharp and knows what it is and what it isn't. Now, Pittsburgh Bruce says Livingston's a good defensive player, and so is Looney. And then Observer says it's absolutely stupid to take Houston if for no other reason because the Warriors are just a great team. Why would you pick on a great team? The Warriors might be one of the best teams of all time, and now they've lost their best defensive player, and the Rockets are a team that won, over 65 games. This is a special team in the Rockets, and this is their big chance. And you're going to give me 8.5 points? I'm going to take it. That's all. Observer says don't take Houston. It's stupid.
I was just going to read that one. I was going to say, now, everyone who was on Houston, listen up. Don't take Houston. I'm just saying, wow. Justin seriously says Durant is really their best defensive player stats-wise.
King Al says, would you take over 227, Jimmy? I don't know. I feel like... I don't know. Obviously, if I like over 223.5, I'd probably like 227. It's just, I have this uncomfortable feeling when I get on a play at the end of a line move, and it's just this pit in my stomach, and I can feel it just talking to you about the play. So,
well, I'll tell you what. If you gave me a free play on this one and I could put it on anything, I'd friggin' tail Parlay Poppy. I'd throw it on Capella plus points plus rebounds over 20 at -105. Whether Houston covers, whether they win, whether it goes over or under, that sounds like a good play. Capella is so important to Houston. If they have a good game, it's almost like he's the most important guy to have a good game for Houston when they win. Because you know what you're going to get from Harden and Paul, roughly. But Capella, if he gets into foul trouble, forget about it. If he has a good game, they need Capella to have a good game to have any kind of chance of winning any game, even at home, right?
Yes, I think I may add it in, and I think Parlay Poppy's on Twitter. Maybe tag him on Twitter, or at least give him a shout out because all our low baggers know Parlay Poppy. King Rail says, funny, I'm hearing people say they wouldn't bet Rockets on the road. Same people bet Celtics on the road last night, including me. I agree. I guess people think that there's just a big difference with this Warriors team being so good, and then but I agree. It doesn't. You're getting 8.5 points, and it's a do or die situation for this team. Kent
Davies says Capella might get 20 boards alone.
Wow,
that one might cash without even scoring. That might be the play of the game, Jim. As far as I'm listening, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then Eric Stiffen says, yeah, Jimmy, come on, Draymond is the best defensive player. Well, let me ask you this, Eric. When push came to shove and somebody had to stop LeBron, who was the man who had to do that? And who won MVP because he did that?
Bill Buttlicker says Draymond has shut down Capella, stay away. And Tomarino Tomor says Capella has really struggled against Golden State scoring with Green at center. His good games against Golden State during the season were with Pachulia starting.
Interesting.
Wow. Damn. Great comments coming in.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass. Jimmy the Bag has officially gone on this game 2 ways. He tweeted out the over at 223.5 much earlier. Great job on that one, Jimmy the Bag beating the big line move. And he has also thrown his hat in the ring with all the people who are liking Houston tonight. Jimmy the Bag taking Houston plus 8.5, minus 115.
Yes, I am. And I like it.
All right, I'm just passing on this one. I'm going to pass on this one. It's just too crazy for me, too crazy for my blood. I hope you all cash. If you gave me a free play, I'd probably take a shot with that Capella prop. And that's about it for me, Jim.
You know, I hear you. But I feel like now, obviously the Warriors can just stomp on any team in any given night, and they can, have 10, 15 point swings in 45 seconds. But I just feel like this is a really, really wonderful opportunity with a 223.5 over and getting 8.5 points with a possibly hurting Iguodala. So I really think this is a nice opportunity for me, and I'm going to take it.
Okay, I'm just scanning my leans here. We've covered NBA, we've covered WNBA. Anything else you want to add, Jimmy the Bag, before I finalize my final few leans that I'm going to throw on here? Anything else you want to add?
I guess what I'm trying to say is I think Iguodala is an extremely special basketball player. And the way he can defend bigger players than himself is huge. And as soon as every time this Warriors team needs just a little bit more, they put Iguodala in the starting lineup or give Iguodala a bigger piece of the puzzle. And I just think he's phenomenal. So if his knee is okay and he's able to play and play 25 minutes, I'd be very, very concerned with my action on both the over and the Rockets. But if he's not in the lineup, and I know, and I don't mean to say that Draymond can't play D or Clay can't. I mean, these guys, Kevin Durant, these guys can play D. But the Rockets want them to be expending all their energy on defense. And what makes them so dominant and special is that they have other guys doing that, and they can focus on offense.
All right. So the only other play that I'm thinking about is throwing on St. Louis -1. It's now dipped below -200 at Pinnacle.
Sorry, what is
St. Louis has dipped below -200 at Pinnacle and continues to take money. Now the money line for St. Louis on the -1.5 line is plus 105.
Jesus.
And that's because who's out, fam? Who's out, Fowler?
We don't know exactly. Let me see if I can find out now.
Maybe someone knows something that we don't know.
Wow.
Maybe someone knows something that we do not know. This line is headed down. Weaver off a couple good starts. Hamill, obviously very, very, very vulnerable. KC bullpen dog shit. Right?
Oh, no, they got the lineup here. Yeah, so no Fam, but we knew that.
Yeah.
Tyler O'Neill. So no Fam, and Ozuna is in the lineup. I'm comfortable with this lineup.
Carpenter's in there?
Yeah, Carpenter.
Fowler's in there?
Yeah. 1, 2, and I mean, they've not been playing well. I'm very comfortable with this lineup.
Okay, I'm going to hold off it for now. It is in my my leans column, but I'll hold off on that one for now. Also, Colorado +1 and Colorado second half. Once again, our leans, really the second half is in my leans category as well, but I'm going to hold off on that one for now. So just to review, Jim's added San Francisco, Houston over 7.5, St. Louis -1.5, Colorado money line, Oakland over 8 -115, Pirates first half money line -127, and Rockets +8.5 -115. I added, this is just in the afternoon show, including my morning show plays. I added Houston first 5 innings, team total over 2.5. St. Louis second half under 3.5 -115. Dodgers second half under 3.5 -135. Mets second half under 3.5 -130, and Milwaukee second half under 3.5 -105. And I also threw on the Cubs first half over 4 -125, and the Cleveland first half team total over 2 -101. And I threw on Cincinnati -1, going directly against all the people who are liking Pittsburgh. And that's it.
That's it. And Vivek says, what do you think about the Rockets team total over 107? I like it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's correlated with my place. It'd be an easy triple up. And
what a long Mac Darwin. Great show as usual, guys. Get that cash.
I love Mac Darwin.
Mac Darwin, is he the guy who said he loved the under at 227? I think so.
Oh, I am not
I think
sure.
Mac Darwin said he loves the under 227.
well, somebody put in somebody's betting huge amount, and I'm just a little overwhelmed with all the comments. But
I know, me
somebody's
too.
betting a huge amount of money on the under 227.
I think that's him. Gerald Martinez says the best play to me is the Houston first quarter. The Dubs need to play with flow and rhythm. It could make for a slower than normal start. I mean, it's the Western Conference Finals, but we know that was Golden State's MO all season long.
I feel like this is an opportunity for victory and for units and for cash in this game. And I'm often worried about NBA, scared about NBA. But what is the team total over that I could get? Give me the best team total over for the Rockets.
For Houston, let me find it. Let me just find it very, very quickly. Houston, wait, where is it? Hold on one second. Just very, very quickly. Let me find it. Houston, team total right now at Pinnacle, 108.5 minus 120. So I don't know. That 107 was from this morning, which does not exist right now. Right now at Pinnacle, you're looking at 108.5 minus 120. And at other places, you're probably looking at 109, Jim. That's what you're probably going to find at Bet365.com.
Yeah, because let's see, that's tough. Of course, your team totals. 107.5, but minus 140.
Yep, there you go. Anyone at minus 110 is probably going to be at 109 right now. All right, Jimmy the Bag, we've done our best to break down this entire card. Anything you want to add before we bring on what's his name, Lucrative Larry, for the play of the future?
Oh,
you want to add anything on, Jim?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Or do you? I'm thinking of tripling up and adding the team total over with the Rockets.
Okay.
What do you think?
Don't ask me. I've got no bets and no picks on this game, and I'm staying way the hell off it. Although I hope you all cash. I guess I'm rooting for the Rockets because everyone that I have in my head is on the Rockets.
And
here.
What was the team total over that you offered? I know
109 minus 110 or 108.5 minus 120.
I will take the Rockets team total over.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Over what?
I think that the best opportunity there is the 108.
Okay, 108.5 minus 120. Jim's going to take Rockets team total over 108.5 minus 120. And we can wrap up the NBA segment by saying Daniel Christensen says my picks are Capella over 10.5 rebounds, Curry over 25.5 points, and Warriors minus 2.5 in the third. That makes some sense. And shout out to Chris Lomas. Thanks, Pete and Jimmy. Good show. Best of luck to everyone tonight. Make that money. Pink Eyed Genie also likes. I like Houston first quarter. And I guess that's it. Should we bring on Larry?
We should.
Ooh, okay. What an intense, fast-paced show. We did our best to cover as much as we could. If we missed any of your comments, we apologize for that. There's so many comments coming in, so much we're going to try to cover. And now we will get Lucrative Larry's play of the future. Larry, well, come on down. Lucrative Larry's play of tomorrow. Lucrative Larry, let's try to hit it. Hey, okay, Lucrative Larry with the intro.
Lucrative Larry, let me just say, you better start getting lucrative too, because and I believe in you.
Mm-hmm. I believe in me.
All right.
Well, you know what, guys? Here's a mic. You know what? I've been riding this train for the past 3-4 days, and I'm not staying off. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Lightning, minus 141 at Pinnacle to win. Let's do this.
7.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Lucrative Larry. Play of the future. Thank you so much, Larry, for all you do, including hitting us up with a play at the end of every show. Not just that, though. You do that and so much more. And that wraps up the show for today. I got a lot of picks riding here in MLB. I had a big winning day yesterday. I hope that I don't hemorrhage units. Probably I'm going to come out like up or down a half unit, and that'll be fine. We'll see how all this turns out. Of course, we'll see how the Houston Rockets and Golden State Warriors game turns out, and we will be back tomorrow for the Wednesday show, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Huge shout out of love to all the commenters. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.